Hello everybody, it's Emily and today I'm here to do my March TBR. So I'm gonna have a little bit of fun with this one. There's gonna be one readathon, I want to draw tarot cards to kind of determine a themed reading week. So I want to incorporate more themed reading weeks and, potentially vlog those weeks. And so I'll link the latest vlog that I did, but in that vlog I labeled the rest of the FairyLoot Tarot Cards that I have, and I have a selection of them for different prompts that I could theme a week of reading around that I would be excited to do coming up. So this is going to be a bit of an interesting TBR, so I'll start kind of towards the beginning of the month and work my way towards the rest of the month. So one of the overarching things is going to be the Cosmerealong that I'm participating in. So bringing Elantris back. So I stopped reading for Blackathon, but Elantris is back. And so I'm going to finish this one this month because the live show is at the end of the month of March. So it's happening. It is happening. And I did actually get some more read in January, but this one is getting finished. This one follows three perspectives. It's by Brandon Sanderson. Follows three perspectives. It follows a princess who was married or set to be married to someone in a different land as a kind of political union, and so it follows her perspective. Unfortunately, her husband died before she could get there. So it also follows, or her husband-to-be, so it also follows the person she was supposed to marry. He didn't actually die. He got a disease, and the city of Elantris has kind of become cursed, and people who get this disease are kind of sent to the city of Elantris. And so he is in the city, and so that's kind of the perspective that you get to kind of show you around the city of Elantris and what's going on there. And then it also follows a religious leader who also has a very interesting perspective. So it's a really cool political fantasy so far. I'm really enjoying it. But this one is going to get finished this month for sure. I also started Retribution Falls by Chris Wooding in January, but this did not fit with anything for Blackathon. And so I paused my reading of it. I think I'm 100 or so pages in, and this one is basically space pirates. That's really all I needed to know to want to be interested. And so I had fun with the first 100 pages so far. So I think once I'm done with my current physical reads and the next physical read that I have, picking this back up is going to be my next priority, along with I'll be reading this physically and maybe listening along with the audiobook while I physically read it, but I don't know. So those are my physical reads towards the beginning of the month. In terms of audiobooks at the beginning of the month, I towards the end of February will be starting Graceland by Kristen Kishore. This one follows Katza, who's a daughter of a political leader in this world, a princess maybe, and she has a grace or an ability to kill. And there are 3 books in the series. I think they're mostly companion novels, if I'm not mistaken. So this whole series is kind of an upcoming audiobook set that I'm going to be listening to. I also will have available on audio from my library A Conjuring of Light by V.E. Schwab. And this series follows Kel, who can go between parallel Londons, and they have different levels of magic, a different relationship to magic, and he smuggles things occasionally between these Londons, and smuggles something that maybe he shouldn't have, and things happen from there. It's fun. So towards the beginning of March, I should have access to this last audiobook. By the way, I talk about this in, I'm not sure what order, but I either just recently I posted or will soon post a comprehensive list of what's on my Libby audio TBR. So I talk about those there as well. So then there's the FemmeFanTale Readathon, and this is run by Jean from Jean Bookish Thoughts. And I haven't quite set which one of these books will go to which prompt. I might not do that because honestly, what prompts these fill is not going to change my TBR. Like, there are a few set books I want to read no matter what prompts they fit or not. But I'm just going with the general they're fantasies written by women, which is the point of the readathon. So I have the audiobook for Muse of Nightmares, and I have this on Libby, and so, you know, I will continue with this. This is the book after Strange the Dreamer. I read this in my last vlog. Had a great time with it, and Strange the Dreamer is about Laszlo Strange, who's a librarian obsessed with the lost city of Weep, and he, the name of the city has kind of been erased from people's minds, but he knows that Weep is not the real name of the city, and he wants to find out more about the city. So when an envoy comes to ask people for help, he joins and goes to the lost city of Weep to help. I loved it. So this one on audio is happening during the FemmeFanTale Readathon. I also am hoping to get to Girls of Storm and Shadow, the second book in the series by Natasha and Yan. And this one follows Lei, who was kidnapped from her home to be a consort to the Demon King. And it's about her experience, her relationship with the other women, and her trying to escape. And the physical read that I'm going to be prioritizing for the FemmeFanTale Readathon, I'll also probably, these are on Scribd, so I'll probably listen while reading physically probably, but I'm going to be participating in the Elderlingalong. The Elderlingalong. That's fun to say. A little hard to roll off the tongue, but it's fun to say. And that's hosted by a bunch of people. I'll link as many as I can below. And I'll also leave Jean's information below the announcement video. So I'll leave as many announcement videos as I can. The information will all be down below. But that is Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. And this is the start to the Farseer trilogy, which is one of, I think, 5 trilogies or 5 series that are all kind of encompassed in the Elderling universe. So I'm stoked. I have the first series that I got from a used bookstore, so I'm so glad to actually kind of have a kick in the pants to read this series because I've been excited to read it for a while. So that will be happening physically during the FemmeFanTale Readathon. So those 3 books I solely have set aside for that week, and I hope I can get through it during that week. We'll see. But after that, there are so many options. And as I said, I wanted to kind of theme my reading, even if it's just like once a week where I theme my reading for a week. And so I picked some, I didn't bring all the FairyLoot Tarot cards that I have because there are some prompts that I don't want to do at the moment. So I picked a set of 6 prompts that I would be excited for any of these to theme a week of reading around. So I have memoir, sci-fi, fantasy, contemporary, short reads, and middle grade, which would basically just be me rereading or continuing my reread of Harry Potter, because that's most of the middle grade that I have. So I am just going to give these a quick shuffle and throw one on the floor apparently. So just give these a quick shuffle. Okay. And I will pick, let's do this one. Fantasy. Okay, so I will pick some fantasies and I will theme a, I know fantasy is a very broad theme for a week, especially when a separate week will be the FemmeFanTale Readathon. So what I might make this is a week of me catching up on the FairyLoot books that I need to catch up on. So, give me one sec. So I have 3 FairyLoot books already to catch up on. And the FairyLoot box for February will be shipped soon. So it's going to be to me probably at some point next week or late the week after that or early week after that. So I will, by the time this comes around, I will have 4 FairyLoot books to choose from. But I have 8 Will Fall by Sarah Harrion. And this one follows 8 people who have some sort of magical abilities. They're kind of banished and not treated well. I think one of these people is an empath. But anyway, they're not treated well and they're kind of banished to an area. imagining it's some kind of like underground place from the cover. And the queen of this land, although she's basically helped ostracize them, needs their help at some point, and so she comes to find them and ask them for help. That's really all I remember about the synopsis of this one. I also have, this was the other book in the December Fairy Loot, I have Wicked As You Wish by Ren Chapeko. And this one follows a kingdom that no longer has magic. The Snow Queen is evil, basically, and all of the people with magic, most are dead. There are a few surviving, including a prince and a few people who are close to him. And they are now in Arizona and need to find their way back to their land to kind of take it back and bring magic back, I think is the gist of this series, if I remember right. And I also have Woven in Moonlight by Isabella Banez. This one follows Jimena, and she is a decoy contessa, and she needs to, I believe, marry for a political alliance, and things happen. This follows Bolivian politics and history, and one of her powers is to weave things out of moonlight. I don't know. It sounds fantastic. I am stoked to read it. This is a gorgeous cover, and so I'm stoked about it. So I could pick any of these really for that week, but I think it'll just be a week of catching up on FairyLoot, which means that I might try to find at least one of these on audio. So yeah, we'll see about that. I think at the very least, I think this one's on Scribd, if I'm not mistaken. We'll see. But yeah, I think at least one of these I will try to find on Scribd, or see if I can get them from my library, just to kind of help get me through some more for a week, because I gotta have some sort of audiobook. And granted, the rest of the audiobooks that I have coming up are fantasy, so I could also just continue on with the rest of those books, even if it's not themed around FairyLoot. The card is just fantasy reading for a week. So really any of the audiobooks that I have coming up will be fine for that. So anyway, we'll see what I get to. I will be sure to vlog that themed week, so be sure to tune into that vlog. That will happen probably towards the end of March, to kind of see what I end up picking and how that goes. So yeah, that's it for my March TBR. And yeah, be sure to subscribe for more bookish content. I'll leave my Twitter and Instagram link down below. That's where I'd like to hang out, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.